Welcome to Press Any Button. I'm Eric.
And I'm Nikki.
And today we're talking about Overwatch. Overwatch is a team-based first-person shooter developed by Blizzard Entertainment with a diverse cast of heroes. Travel the world and combat as anyone from a beat-dropping DJ to a quad cannon-yielding hamster. Earn loot and level up by playing one of the many casual and competitive game modes. I feel like it's more of a chain gun and less of a cannon.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just going by what it says on the website.
I feel like the website is wrong.
Hey, the game developers can't be wrong, so suck it.
All right, that's fine. You ready to get into it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right, Nikki. So let's hear the history of Overwatch.
Well, first of all, let's start with when it was released, which was May 2016. And it was released on Xbox, PS4, and PC after being announced at BlizzCon in 2014. And then in 2019, it was released on the Switch. And this year, it was optimized for Xbox X.
Wow, so it was announced all the way back in 2014.
Yeah, so basically it was announced in 2014, and then in 2015 and early 2016 it was open for a closed beta. And then right before they released it, they had an open beta, which I think had like 10 million players testing it out. Yeah, which is pretty nuts.
So I feel left out for missing that open beta, I guess.
I know, right? We're missing out on all the cool things. Like, we need to, I don't know, start following these companies on Twitter or something so we can get in on the like early action.
Yeah.
Also, Overwatch is Blizzard's fourth major franchise and came about following the 2014 cancellation of Titan. So, do you know any of Blizzard's other games?
Yeah, so you have like the Warcraft universe.
Yeah, World of Warcraft. That's a huge one,
well,
right?
They also have the strategy Warcraft games.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have like the StarCraft universe, and then you have the Diablo universe.
All huge games.
A series of games. Mm-hmm. And then I guess were they originally calling it Titan, or was Titan just a totally different game?
No, Titan was a different game. It was like a team-based game, but from what I gather, it didn't, have any of the same like concept or anything like that other than the team-based thing. And they actually took some of the elements that they were going to use for Titan and they just repurposed them for Overwatch. So
is that why Reinhardt feels so out of place in this universe?
I don't know.
He seems like he would look right in Titan, whatever, because, Titan.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I didn't do too much research on Titan because, our episode's not about that. But I just wanted to mention it because it seemed like a pretty important factor. And it kind of seems like they dropped Titan to make Overwatch instead. I guess they liked it better. I don't know. Anyways, I do want to go over like a brief bit of the story of the game. I think that's pretty important.
Yeah.
So Overwatch takes place in the near future Earth sometime in the mid 2070s. Some 30 years before, robots turned against humanity in what became known as the Omnic Crisis. This eventually led to the formation of an elite strike team who finally brought an end to the war, and this team was the beginning of Overwatch, who is an international task force which tried to maintain global stability for 2 decades until corruption tore it apart. And although Overwatch has been disbanded, new crises are looming and the world still needs heroes. So basically they're kind of getting the gang back together.
Yeah, the world
and
needs
fighting some crisis.
The world needs heroes, and then the other side needs heroes, and all the heroes fight against each other.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
And this brief overview is basically what Winston tells you in the very beginning of the game when you start. And from what I can remember, I think it was also like the commercial for the game too.
Okay.
So what do you think about that overview?
That's pretty good. You pick up a lot of that, but there's not really a single player story going on at any point. So like the most story bits you get are just kind of from interactions between the characters.
Yeah.
Every now and then, like when you're in the waiting room, they'll kind of like talk to each other or say something about where you are or what it means or whatever.
Yeah, or you might see like a poster with one of them on it or something like that. In the game, there are 5 modes of play. So you have quick play, competitive play, versus AI, weekly brawl, and custom games. You also get a practice range, and you have tutorials you can go through. There's also the arcade mode, which is basically a rotating selection of game modes, maps, and rule sets that don't quite fit into quick play. So you have mystery heroes in there. You might have some random like death match, or sometimes they have it where you just get unlimited specials. I forgot what that's called, but it's like everyone has unlimited everything, and you don't have to wait for any of the timed stuff. You just get to go at it, and it's nuts.
Yeah, there are a bunch of weird game modes in there. I kind of explored it for the first time when I was working on the challenge. Yeah.
Overwatch actually started its 28th season May 7th of this year. So that was just the other day. And that's a lot of seasons.
Yeah. How long is a season?
That's a good question. I think it's probably different for each game, but whatever 28 divided by like 6 is.
So.
Or what do you do? 5 years? I don't know.
6 times 4 would be like.
I'm not doing math
24.
right now. I'm not on the top of my head.
Like a season was roughly like a quarter of the year,
Whatever. That's still a lot of seasons. So, yeah. I would also like to mention and talk about the Overwatch League, which is a big part of the game and the game culture. And if you go to their website, there's a lot about it on there.
Yeah, I've seen it kind of on the main page that you can kind of go and watch some of the games straight from, the main page of the game. But I've caught it a little bit occasionally, like, 10 minutes here or there, like on ESPN or something.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen it on ESPN a few times. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Something I actually play is on a sports
which
channel.
Is kind of cool. But yeah, I've never gotten into the league much.
Yeah, and I think you're probably good enough. You're really good at this game. But
no, I don't play.
If you ever wanted to do competitive, you probably could.
I don't play the way, like, in order to play competitive, you really need to use keyboard mouse. Mm-hmm. I don't have any desire to play the game like that.
Yeah, me either.
Even though you would have a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, true. The Overwatch League is an international esports league which has 20 city-based teams and features the best Overwatch players in the world. The 2021 season began April 16th, and then the season will end in September with the grand finals. Yeah, so 20 teams. That's a lot. Like, how many football teams are there?
32.
32. So, I mean, not quite as much, but still... I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah. I'm amazed I knew that fact.
There's actually an Atlanta Overwatch team. Do you know what they're called?
Are they called Rain?
Yeah, you're right. How did you know that?
I think I downloaded a skin or something. Like I had some kind of like small amount of credit or whatever. So
on the game?
Yeah, on the game.
Oh, sweet.
So I used it for, I think, an Ash skin or something at the time.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Apparently, they play pretty close to us at the Coca-Cola Roxy, which is right in the Battery.
Oh, cool.
But I think right now they're just doing it on YouTube.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, much like everything, if it can be online, they're doing it online. But that's okay.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah, maybe next year or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And side note, I just want to say there's currently no female players in the Overwatch League, which was a total bummer for me,
Yeah.
So, if you're out there and you're listening and you're on your school's, esports team or whatever, let's get some more girls out there auditioning and or trying out for like pro gaming teams. Like I want to see it.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you ready, Eric, for fun facts.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do some fun facts.
Well, actually, I want to start off with one not so fun fact.
What kind of fact is it? Not a fun fact?
A sad fact? A controversial fact?
Ooh, controversial
I don't know.
fact.
I don't think the fact itself is controversial, but it's
This doesn't sound very fun.
That's why I said, hey, it's an interesting fact.
Okay.
Let's go with that. Okay.
All right. Interesting fact.
Yeah. So over the years, Overwatch has had some issues with appropriation.
What? A game as diverse as Overwatch?
Yeah, exactly. And so I guess some things that come with that is you have to obviously be super careful, like what outfits you put certain characters in and things like that. Like one thing that made a lot of people mad is that they took the Egyptian character, Farah, and they gave her a Native American headdress outfit as one of the skins that you could get for her, with like a full headdress and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, just because they both have like brown skin doesn't mean it's the same.
Yeah,
That's
not quite right.
So that was one thing. And then the latest thing is they actually released a new skin for May, which is it's a play on words, a pun, I guess. MMA. So they have her as an MMA fighter.
That's clever.
Yeah, which is really cute. I love the play on the words, but people are kind of upset that they gave her cornrow braids, which is typically, an African American hairstyle.
You see it a lot in MMA though, just because it is like
practical.
Yeah, it's a more practical hairstyle.
For sure.
Trying to beat the crap out of each other.
I've seen women fight in MMA fights with just like ponytails and stuff, and then their hair just ends up in their face or getting pulled.
Yeah.
It just comes out really fast. So, I can get why MMA fighters wear that hairstyle, but I can see why people got a little bit mad, because Overwatch 2 should be coming out soon-ish.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And there's not any black female characters yet. So that's one thing that people were upset about, is that they kind of gave her cornrows, but like we're going to have to wait for Overwatch 2 probably to get a black female hero.
Yeah, you see, to me that should be more of the issue rather than her having cornrows.
Yeah. So are you ready for some actual fun facts that aren't, about people getting mad at people?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so as of November 2020, Overwatch still has 10 million monthly players.
It still has that many players?
Yeah. I've read that it's dropped off a little bit recently, but that's still a really good amount of people that play the game every month.
Wow, yeah, so that's like unique players per month.
Yeah, or returning. There are 32 different heroes you can play as, and there are 28 different maps.
Wow.
Yeah. So at first, it could be a little overwhelming because you're like, oh my gosh, I got to learn 32 different characters and all their moves. But I think that's also a little bit what keeps it interesting.
Well, it didn't start off with 32 heroes, right? I think I found that it started with 21.
Yeah, and they do a really good job, and we'll talk about this later, I'm sure, but they do a good job of adding new characters and adding new maps pretty regularly.
Yeah.
The next fun fact is Overwatch has won over 100 Game of the Year awards.
100?
Over 100. I think it was 102 from what I saw.
Are these like big awards, or they're like mom and pop superstore? Like,
I'm gonna say
we're gonna give Overwatch an award.
I'm gonna say it's probably both because
Okay.
102. I mean, God, it's like almost everywhere. I feel like.
Yeah.
But it's definitely some bigger like magazines and websites.
Yeah, I guess it is an international game.
Yeah, but 102. That's a lot. And hey, I'm for it. I like the game, so I think it's really creative, really good. So yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Fun fact number 5. If you play World of Warcraft, there are plenty of Overwatch references and that they have like kind of carried over in World of Warcraft.
But they're two totally different universes.
I know. So I actually found it both ways. There's World of Warcraft references in Overwatch, and then they do the same, putting Overwatch references, or nods, I guess, in World of Warcraft. Such as, here's an example. In Battle for Azeroth, World of Warcraft's most recent expansion, there's a really interesting team in the Brawlers Guide, one that goes by the name of Overwatch.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Okay. And get this, the names of the people in this group, okay? You have Stuff Shrew, which, what's another name for stuff? Junk. And Shrew, rat. You've got Hudson, which
Wow,
I guess,
totally missed that.
you've got
Stuff Shrew.
Hudson, which
good.
is kind of like Winston. And you've got Dupree, which rhymes with McCree. So, I don't know. It's not exactly, like a straight up, like in your face kind of slap you like.
I mean, that sounds pretty.
Reference,
that's pretty close.
I like it. I thought it was pretty fun. And in certain maps on Overwatch, you can see World of Warcraft references and stuff like that. So it's kind of neat that Blizzard's putting those little Easter eggs in for their fans, I guess.
I did notice one Easter egg. I don't know if I call it an Easter egg, but one of Tolburn's phrases, that one of his abilities is he can kind of move faster and shoot faster. His fire rate goes up and he gains a little bit of armor for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Occasionally when he hit it, he'll say the phrase power overwhelming. That is a StarCraft cheat code.
Oh.
That would, I know this because I used it a lot.
Cheater.
But yeah, it pretty much made you invincible in the game.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm sure if I went and looked up a list, there's probably a bunch. I wouldn't even be surprised if they didn't throw some Diablo Easter eggs or nods in as well. So we'll have to look that up later. But I like it when games do that. It's just like something fun, like keeps them from getting too bored, I guess. Lets them have a little like freedom and do something fun with like the developers. So anyways, it's an interesting game. Also, if you go to the website, I mean, there's tons of content on there with backstories. Each character has backstories. There's a lot of short stories that they've made, animated short stories with some characters and their backstories and things that have happened to them. And there's also a ton of like comic strips or comic books, I guess you would say, that are on the site as well that kind of give you stories of different heroes' paths crossed or if they have history together or, there's a lot of connections within the heroes. So it's pretty neat.
I feel like that leads into like the pros and cons section pretty well because that was actually one of my pros.
Yeah, mine too.
It wasn't what I write. Oh yeah, extra storyline videos. Pretty cool.
Yeah, one of my pros is just like the story and how much detail they put into it, how much they've, developed it out and all that extra content that they give the fans for free. You can go watch it on their website or YouTube and it's pretty cool. I think I saw that they have over 90 minutes of animated shorts.
Oh, wow.
Currently. I think I saw a YouTube video where they just put them all together. So if you just want to watch the whole, like all of it all together, you can. So but that's almost a movie.
I was about to say that they have a movie's worth of shorts. So if you want to grab some popcorn, I guess you could just make
short movie. Nowadays, like every movie is like 3 hours long. 90 minutes is up my alley. That's more on the lines of my attention span.
Yeah, mine too.
Another thing I like is just all the variety. At first I was super overwhelmed with how many heroes you could play as because each hero, I mean, their skills and their moves and how they play, how you have to play with them is totally different.
And their weapon itself can be very different.
Yeah, and their weapons, like everything about every hero is different. Like there's not two that are the same or even really similar. So at first you're like, oh my God, like it's a lot to kind of learn.
Yeah.
But as you play, I mean, you learn it just like anything else. It just becomes a part of your memory. And it's really fun. I actually like that because it keeps it from getting boring.
Yeah, each character has its own strength too. So you kind of learn how to not just try to play the character well, but how to play it well as part of your team. Maybe you learn that you need to put your shields in front of Bastion because he's pretty much vulnerable.
Oh, yeah. Or if you are a healer, you should actually play as a healer. Instead of like when I very first started, I would just like go in guns a-blazing with Mercy and obviously die in like 2 seconds.
You do realize that you gave me a challenge where you told me to kill people specifically as a healer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So you say that, and then you just told me to do the exact opposite.
Yeah, but let's go back to why I gave you that challenge, because you were bragging about how good you were with Anna and how you could get all these eliminations with her. So that's why I gave you that challenge, not because I thought it was something I could do.
I do get eliminations with Anna, but not to the
Well,
level.
you shouldn't have been so cocky. You know, now I took you down a notch. You're not as good as you thought, huh?
I am exactly as good as I thought I am with Anna, but you just gave me a ridiculous challenge.
What's something else that you like about the game, Eric?
I like the fact that they're constantly balancing and updating the game. You know, it went from 21 characters to 32 characters. They've added maps, they've added game modes. They added the custom game modes. You know, so much has been added since it initially released. I remember when it first came out, pretty much it was like either competitive or quick play. Like that was it.
Yeah.
And now it's, you know, there's so many different options for how you can play the game. It really feels like it's opened up.
Yeah, true. And like you said, they're good at balancing out characters. So like I can definitely remember when it very first started, certain characters had moves and specials that are different now. And some of that's because they found out that it was either like unbalanced, like this made that character too powerful, or the opposite, where it was like, okay, this character is too weak, you know, we got to do something to make them a little bit better. So they do updates all the time where they might tweak like a character's moves or their skills, just like you said, to make it more balanced.
Yeah, and I like that. So they're constantly balancing things, and it feels like it's getting better and better, where you can pick almost any character and be pretty decent with them.
Yeah, and they don't charge you. They add new characters, they add new maps, they add all this stuff, and they don't charge you extra. So that's really nice, because a lot of other games, you know, they want that DLC money.
Yeah, and all this was free with the base game. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I like that. It's also just super fast-paced game. You know, if you want to just zone out, chill out for a few hours, you know, relieve some stress, you know, I think this is a great game. There's not a lot of downtime, except for when you die, you have to wait, like 10 seconds or something before you respawn. But
not very long at all.
But it's not that bad.
And you get to watch a fun highlight of how you were killed.
Yeah.
One of the things I like is that this is one of the first-person shooters I played that wasn't just focused on kills, assists, and deaths. Usually those are kind of the, you know, how well you did, you could measure in either kills, assists, or deaths. And I feel like this game does a better job of trying to not only take the emphasis off of those things, but try to highlight some of the stats and stuff that aren't focused on those. Like at the end of the game, you might see a damage blocked stat as one of the highlights.
That's good, because if you're playing with someone who's not a character or whatever, a hero that's not, you know, a tank, you can still see that you did a good job healing or blocking or whatever.
Yeah.
And I like that it's not so like violent either, you know, like a lot of the other games that are first person shooters, right? They're all realistic and super gory.
Yeah.
But Overwatch is a little more friendly for all ages, I would say.
Yeah, you know, they're still dying, I guess, but they're not permanently dead. I don't know.
It's just not gory. You know, there's not a bunch of blood and guts and like that kind of stuff. Like if you're playing Call of Duty or something. So that's something I also like. I think this game is for a wide age range. You know, I think you could be pretty young and play this game and be able to pick it up. Yeah. I mean, not super young, because you have to learn a lot, but, you know, I think 10 or whatever, probably play the game.
Yeah.
So what else do you like about Overwatch, Eric?
I like the diversity of characters and personalities.
Oh, me too.
I like the fact that, you know, again, FPS, but they're not just generic soldier characters. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of FPSs where that's what they basically do. They take generic soldiers and then they'll give them like a different face or mask or hood or a weapon, change those things out. It's nice to see like kind of variety of different personalities and different
professions, backgrounds. Yeah.
Just all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a South Korean professional video game player, right? She's one of the characters, which is freaking cool. You've got Winston, who is a gorilla human, I guess, or
I think he was just
a super smart gorilla.
I think he was just genetically modified.
Yeah, that like lived in outer space, I think. I mean, it's just like you have a hamster that has a mech. Like, I don't know. It's definitely not boring. They got really creative with all the characters and heroes.
Yeah, I like that.
Who would you say are some of your like favorite characters to play with?
Ash has been one of my favorites lately.
Ash is pretty badass.
Yeah, I like playing as the sniper characters, but I feel like I don't play them well. I don't
like
know.
Widowmaker. She's like one of my favorites.
Widowmaker,
too.
I feel like is one of the most fun to play, but also the most challenging.
Oh yeah, I used to suck with her, but I've gotten a lot better. I think I can get those like headshots.
It's kind of like feast or famine, where either you feel like you're just demolishing people or you just aren't doing anything.
Yeah, I really like playing with Mora. She's got those orbs. And I don't know, she's super fun. Plus she has red hair, so that's cool. And she likes cats.
Those are good reasons.
Yeah. So if you weren't playing mystery heroes, who do you think would be like your go-to hero that you would like just pick all the time?
I don't know. I don't like to just pick one hero.
Yeah.
And it's fun to play the different types.
Being a healer, being a sniper. Tank.
That's honestly one of the reasons I play mystery heroes is because I just like playing different characters.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to think about having to balance the team, because I'll try to, like, sometimes if I'm playing quick match, I'll wait and kind of see what other people picked and then try to balance it that way.
Oh, yeah.
But now they have the quick match where you just go into the different categories anyway. Mm-hmm. So that so you're kind of automatically balanced at this point in quick match. So
I'm the same way. That's why I play mystery heroes too, is because I want to be good with all the characters. And I know if I were to have to pick, I would probably just go for my favorites all the time.
Yeah.
But actually, some of my favorites now are my favorites because I played with them on Mystery Heroes. If it wasn't for that, I probably would avoid picking them and not even know that I really like some players, because I would just like automatically close my own self off from that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Did you have anything else you like?
I mean, I like almost everything about this game. It's one of my favorite games to play. And it's like a game that's just kind of ongoing, I have a lot of games where I play it and then once I beat it, I move on to another game. I don't necessarily replay it a bunch of times, but this is one of those games that's kind of ongoing, which is nice.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of play it in conjunction with playing other games.
Yeah, it's kind of one of my guilty pleasure games that it's just kind of like, well, I don't have anything going on. I guess I'll just go play a few matches of Overwatch.
Yeah. Definitely.
The rounds are relatively short. You don't need to try to remember story or where you left off or anything.
Yeah.
Just go straight in and play some fun multiplayer.
And I can't remember, for this game, is it cross-platform? Like, can people on Switch play? It's just...
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so it's just, if you're on Xbox, you're playing people on Xbox. But that would be pretty cool if they do eventually make it like cross-platform, because that would just open up the amount of people you can play with. I don't know the logistics behind that, but
I think I was reading a little bit about some of that. I don't think they want to make it, especially with PC users. I don't think they want to make it cross-platform.
Oh, really?
Because just PC users would have a ridiculous advantage over console users.
In fact, it's just like quicker and stuff.
Yeah, in fact, you can get like a converter. Essentially, would give you mouse keyboard type controls.
Oh, okay.
For console, and they don't really even like players using those, because again, it's kind of like having an unfair advantage against console players.
Yeah.
So actually, if you go to competitive, like the top players all use like converted like mouse keyboard options.
And when you watch on ESPN, that's what they're using too.
Yeah, because it's such a, I guess, better control scheme for this type of game. It's not one that I personally like to use, but I know, like, if you're playing competitive, that's kind of what you have to learn.
Yeah. Oh, I do have one more thing that I want to say that I like about the game. So they take your experience and how good you are and how much you've played, and they basically rank you. And so when you go into games, you're playing with people that are on the same level as you.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going in playing with a bunch of people who are going to kill you, and you're not going to go in and you're not going to play a game where you're just going to slaughter everyone. They do a good job of ranking you and putting you, like, I guess, in a group so that when you play, it's fun and it's competitive.
Yeah, you're playing with people about your same skill level. And
yeah.
that makes a huge difference when you're playing a game like this, especially in a multiplayer type setting. Because if it didn't do this, it would be so incredibly frustrating to play.
Yeah, and it would be hard to get better because you would just die all the time. You wouldn't even get a chance to play.
Yeah.
Which I've definitely played games like that, and I didn't stick with it because it was just too frustrating.
Yeah. So my last pro is that I really like the voice acting, even if it in its limited capacity. We've actually seen some of the voice actors at Dragon Con before.
We have. It was a really cool panel.
Yeah, and they seem like lovely people.
They do. And they do the voices in the shorts and stuff, too.
Yeah.
So they get a little bit more, I guess, acting opportunities than maybe some other video game voice actors do.
Yeah.
Because of all the extra content.
Yeah, true. So what did you not like about the game?
There's not a whole lot. The first thing I have is just that it can be overwhelming at first, like I kind of already mentioned. You have 32 players and they all have different skills that you have to learn. That can be overwhelming at first if you are like us and you want to learn all the characters. But I would say, if you're thinking about playing the game and that's one thing that's stopping you, is just try it anyway, because it's not that bad once you get into it. It's really not that hard. It's not chemistry or like calculus or anything.
Yeah, and like Nikki said, you're not going to be put against like the elite players. You're going to be put at players also learning the game
exactly
at your skill level.
Yeah. What's something that you don't like about the game?
So I don't like the fact that there's no single player campaign. I feel like that might be kind of an unfair criticism because the game is clearly set up as a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
But I do feel like they could give you some kind of offline abilities or options or something to do offline. This game is completely tethered to an internet connection. So in order to even get into the menu, you have to connect to their game server.
Oh, true. Yeah. Good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So if you wanted to just play with bots or design custom games or do tutorial stuff, you can't do that, even though, it doesn't require other players.
Yeah. That does suck. I didn't even think about that, but yeah,
so,
good point.
So not just the no single player campaign, I think it's the lack of off internet options for the game. So like you couldn't take, well, maybe they designed the Switch port different. I haven't played the Switch port yet, but I don't think you could take like your Switch on an airplane and do some like bot matches or something.
Yeah. And two, they built like all this story out too. It would be neat to be able to play through some of the story.
Yeah.
And have like a campaign mode. Yeah, like you were saying. I mean, if they can do it in Mortal Kombat, why can't they could do it in Overwatch?
It's very different game types, but yeah.
It is, but it's taking like a game that's specifically usually only playing with other people, and like they were able to make a campaign out of it. So I feel like it wouldn't be too hard for Overwatch to do something.
They do have the co-op campaigns, but I've played some of those. I don't really like them that much.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've had some mixed experiences, I guess, with other players. I think I played this one game where, for whatever reason, my co-op allies just wouldn't move out of this room. So we're just stuck in this room for like 10 minutes, just like doing nothing. Oh man, I was pissed.
Yeah. Like, come on, guys.
It's like they kept trying to go like the wrong direction or something.
Idiots. I'm surrounded by idiots.
Yeah.
I really don't have that many things that I don't like about the game. The only other thing I have is that I think if you were to not play Mystery Heroes, I feel like I would get stuck just playing the same characters all the time. And I don't know if that's necessarily a con. Some people might only want to play one character all the time and get really good at it and whatever. But yeah, I just didn't have that many cons, so I wrote that down.
Some people, yeah, you're right. They'll just be like, oh, I main whatever, Hanzo or Diva or something. And that's fine. That's totally fine if that's the way you want to play the game.
Yeah, whatever makes.
I feel like you're missing out on a lot of stuff, but
For sure. But hey, you do you, people. I'm not here to judge. If that's what makes you happy,
Yeah.
who cares? It's a video game, you know?
So one of the other cons I had was it has loot boxes, but thankfully it's just for cosmetics like skins, poses, and sprays and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't really affect gameplay, which is good.
Exactly. And I don't ever feel like, I've never felt like, oh my gosh, I need to buy loot boxes because I really, really want this one outfit or something. And sometimes I see people with like the gold weapons and I'm like, okay. I mean, it's just for looks, it's not like making your weapon any more powerful. You just paid to literally just have like a gold weapon, but
that's fine.
Hey, who cares? Again, like if that's what makes you happy, I mean, it's like people going to Starbucks or people going to wherever else you spend useless amounts of money at, like whatever. I mean,
fine.
they do look cool. The gold weapons do look cool, and they're kind of rare too, so I can kind of see why people would want to buy them because like I definitely notice them, but it's silly.
It is one of those things like, okay, I know I'm playing this game all the time. Like, I might as well have a gold weapon or something.
Why not?
Yeah, that's fine.
I got extra $10, or maybe someone gave you a gift card for Xbox or something. Like, what the heck?
Or maybe, you got some free in-game currency somehow.
Yeah, well, like you apparently did.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever gotten free currency, but I don't know. Maybe I should go check.
Yeah, maybe you just need to check.
Yeah.
There was one thing I thought they could do better. You know that startup video that plays every single time you start the game?
The one of Winston talking into like his webcam or whatever.
I'm so tired of that video. Just because it plays every single time you start the game. And we played
you
bunch.
can skip it. You don't have to watch it though, at least.
I know, but it always starts. And you always see the first couple of seconds. But they have such a huge library of these shorts. I'm like, why don't you just mix it up and have a different short show up each intro time?
Yeah,
that way you could always have a different video shuffling.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen that one yet. Like, let me learn more about the lore that way. Because I don't usually seek out the videos on my own anyway, but if they had it played at the intro screen, I might stop to watch it sometime,
Yeah, they probably do it for new. At this point, I would imagine there's not a ton of like new players, unless it's, you're on the Switch or something. But they probably do it because, that's like the intro. Like it gives you like the basic backstory of like the game.
Yeah.
So if they start showing some of these other videos, like people might not know what the context is.
All they have to do,
I don't know. I get what you're saying.
Add the line of code, if played greater than 100 hours, switch the videos.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Yeah. You would think of that. I didn't think that that makes sense. You're right. You should write them a letter, Eric.
I'll get right on that.
Hey, maybe Overwatch 2 will come out soon and then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, true. And the last thing on my cons list, and honestly, these are cons, but the game is, obviously I put a ton of time into this game. It's a lot of fun. So, but yeah, this last con is that shitty people in the community do exist. Mm-hmm. One of the first things I did was turn my teammate audio off because someone was bitching and moaning about how terrible our team was.
Oh, yeah.
But the game is completely fine without teammate audio, as it turns out.
Yeah, I have no interest in hearing what any of the other players say because I know personally myself, I don't say anything that I want anyone else to hear.
Yeah.
You would probably just hear me cursing a lot and like being like, where is everyone? Or like, why did I do that? Or, mostly yelling at myself because I make mistakes. But I'm glad you turned that off because like I've never had to play with hearing like little 12-year-old kids like cussing.
Yeah, and I'm also the same way because like I'll be shouting at the TV like, oh, you guys suck, even though it's probably mostly my own fault.
I know. I'm always like, I swear I should have killed them. I hit them like 5 times. And then every time you're in the room, you're like, babe, you didn't hit them 5 times. You hit them 1 time. I'm like, what? It looked like I did. No, sorry, you didn't.
And then you might get stuck with shitty people on your team, for example, who tries to use Anna to get kills instead of using her for what she's good at, which is healing and occasionally putting someone to sleep. Yeah, that's
I turned you into a butthole. Sorry.
You turned me into a bad teammate.
Oh no! It was for a good reason. Okay. Right?
All right.
Worth it.
Let's talk about strategy.
Okay.
Did you write stuff for this one this time?
I did not. It's all in my head. But I only did it because I would literally have to go through all 32 heroes and write different strategies for each one, because that's kind of how you have to play.
Yeah.
And I do actually use strategy for this game. Shocker. But I've learned, when I started, obviously I didn't use a lot of strategy. I would just go in guns a-blazing no matter what character I was. But now I've learned, obviously, certain characters you have to be more aggressive with. If you're Doomfist or McCree, you pretty much need to be up in their business shooting like point blank, you know? And if you're, Widowmaker or Mercy or Anna, you need to keep your distance and try to heal people, like actually do your job as you're classified, I guess.
Yeah, there's a ton of different play styles, and you could get into like character styles and like team, like how to put these characters together.
Oh yeah.
There can be a lot of strategy. I don't look too much into the different team dynamic strategies, but we could really spend like 8 hours just talking about all the different stuff, all the different characters and stuff in this game.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we've played enough. We could probably devote that much time to it if we wanted to.
Yeah, I could go through each character, each hero, and tell you strategy and how to play with them. But that would be like a whole episode on its own. Other than like the specific character strategies, do you have any strategy for like specific games? If you're doing like the move the payload one, or if you're doing like the checkpoint one, like do you have different strategies for like the different game types?
I just have like a couple of like general strategies.
Okay.
In general, a good strategy is sticking near your teammates, unless specifically you're a ganker like Reaper or Sombra. We're much better suited for taking out healers and snipers in 1v1 situations in the backlines. Mm-hmm. So yeah, sticking with your teammates is usually a good strategy for almost all the characters.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I kind of suck at that because I like to just go run and do my own thing. But yeah, I have gotten a lot better at that.
Yeah, and when I say like stick near, I don't necessarily mean like right all next together. But just where if you get overwhelmed, you can like back towards your teammates and kind of have a general idea of where they're at.
Yeah. And then also, if you stick with your team, like you'll probably be near your healer, too. So you can hopefully get healed.
Yeah. In general, like I feel like having the numbers on your side is extremely helpful.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
So you want situations where you outnumber the enemy players. Mm-hmm. So like if you can try to lure enemy players who might be over aggressive into situations where your teammates are at. Like if you're playing a healer and you encounter a character like Reaper, it's always better to try to move towards your teammates rather than just trying to like run away
or take him on. Take him on if you're Mercy or like Anna. You're probably not gonna kill Reaper.
You're still taking him on and trying to do damage to him, but at the same time, you're also trying to move towards your teammates.
Yeah, I guess I meant just like take him on all by yourself. Yeah. You can like go back to your team and hopefully like get some 2-on-1 action or 3-on-1 action.
Because almost any character is going to be almost immediately destroyed in any situation where they're just way outnumbered. I see this a lot in games. Your team is losing, where players will just kind of get frustrated and try to like go in almost one at a time.
Yeah.
And it's almost just like a constant like 1v6 situation.
Yeah, it's like, okay, wait 2 seconds for like 2 more people to spawn, and then you can go in there with like 3 people instead of all by yourself.
Yeah, I call that an assembly line of death.
Yeah. You know what? Now that you bring that up, I can definitely remember many situations where I've done that. Where I'm just like, especially if it's at the end and you're just, and you're trying to just get in there. Sometimes you have to do it, but I totally understand what you're saying. And I'm not talking about like just waiting right outside the spawn point. You can get up to where the enemies are, just don't die immediately. Don't get close enough where you're just going to get torn up. Yeah, don't just like run into the like battlefield all by yourself, like, here I am, pew pew pew.
Because I'll do that too. I'll get kind of close-ish where I'm not just immediately getting destroyed, and I can back up and get heal packs and whatever.
Patience is hard though, It is. Like, especially for video game people, I feel like.
But yeah, I feel like those are some basic strategies.
Yeah, those are good tips.
Anything else you can think of?
Just, like you said, there are certain characters, that go together. Just actually play as a team instead of just trying to go in and be a lone wolf is the main part, which, we've you kind of already said that. But yeah, I think that's the main point. And that's something I definitely had to learn because I'm not a very patient person and I want to just be where the action is. Yeah. But, I mean, that doesn't work for every player. So.
There are those types of lone wolf characters, but they kind of rely more on stealth. So you think of Sombra or Reaper, who you're specifically trying to get to the back lines to try to gank the healers and the snipers and stuff. Those types of characters, if you're wanting to lone wolf it, that's who you're going to pick.
Yeah, but it's still okay for those players to go off on their own because that's kind of their role. They're supposed to do that on the team.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just don't do that if that's not your role, I guess. If you're a healer, you need to clearly be around other people or else who are you healing except yourself, Yeah. So yeah, just be a team player. Yeah. This teaches you how to be a team player.
And I feel like a Reaper or Sombra is going to be much more successful if they wait until an actual push happens where you have most of their team distracted.
Yeah, for sure. Did you find anything about the future?
I did.
Ooh, so did I. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
I guess we could talk about the most obvious ones.
Yeah.
That I think almost probably everyone's heard of it by now. There's going to be an Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
That was announced in 2019.
Yep.
But from what I've read, they don't really expect it to be out until 2022. So.
Yeah, they had an earnings call where the company basically said they weren't expecting it in 2021 at all.
Yeah, that's what I read too. So at the earliest 2022, but they didn't say, hey, it's going to come out in 2022. We're just kind of hoping, they'll have 3 years to work on it at that point. So hopefully they could get it done.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully
it's not like they're coming out with new characters. Probably some new characters, but a lot of the stuff's already been created.
Yeah, hopefully they make it good. That's the main thing. That's the most important thing.
Oh yeah. I'd rather it come out later and be good than be rush early release and it be sucky and have a bunch of bugs. So.
Exactly. As long as they make sure it's good, I'm fine waiting till 2022.
Yeah, same.
All right,
so what else did you find?
There has been kind of a content drought lately.
Okay.
It's not really news. Well, I guess it kind of is, but their last kind of new thing was Echo, who is a playable character. And it's been over a year since that came out.
Wow.
So there's been, kind of a bad content drought. And,
well, probably because they're trying to get ready for the new game.
Yeah, but if it's still a year away. But I've read a news article where they're talking about Twitch streamers leaving for other shooters,
other new games, I guess.
Yeah, newer games.
Yeah. Well, once your game gets so old, it's kind of common sense that it's eventually going to drop off. People are
that's true.
Move on. They've done a really good job of keeping people just by adding the new characters and adding all the content.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And
they should definitely add at least one more character or something before the new game, hopefully. Yeah. But
not a lot of games do this either, where it's just all free content.
Yeah, so maybe we should just be happy that we got what we had and not be jaded.
It's true. Content. Where's the new characters? Oh.
They're like, hey, we're trying to make a new game. Do you want Overwatch 2 or not? So one thing that I saw was an Overwatch TV series is under consideration by Activision Blizzard Studios. In February 2020, Nick Van Dyke, who was the co-president of Activision Blizzard Studios, mentioned that he had developed and sold an animated series based on Blizzard's Overwatch franchise.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And from what I saw, I think that the rumor was this was supposed to be on Netflix. And I think that there was also talk of maybe a Diablo series as well.
Oh, wow.
So there's no hard news on when those will start filming or concrete yes, this is happening, but definitely a lot of strong rumors. And obviously they've already developed and sold the series, so there's been some development of it. I don't know if it's all final development, but it's at least probably in motion.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
So we'll see if it happens. I don't know, like, video game films and series don't always translate super well, but I think being an animated series would probably help Overwatch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be great. I mean, all the characters and personality. Yeah, I think it would do really well. And
it'd be neat to watch. I mean, I would definitely be interested in giving it a try if it did come out. So
100%. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Did you have anything else?
No, I didn't really look that hard.
Okay. The only other thing that I could find is that a lot of the Overwatch developers and people that work with Overwatch, they've mentioned that they're very interested in having Smash Bros. Characters. Isn't that like a sign that you've made it if your character is in Smash Bros? Because I feel like every legendary character or just character in general has been on Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Nothing's been confirmed, but from what I've read, the rumors and what I'm gathering is people would like to see Tracer and Doomfist characters in Smash Bros.
Yeah, I think that.
I think both of those would work pretty well.
Yeah, Tracer's shooting range is already like point blank almost. So.
Yeah, and then could you imagine her just like warping around on the screen? Like I could totally see that. That'd be cool.
Her time warp ability would be really good in that too.
Yeah, it would be neat, especially since they released it on Switch. They have said they're definitely interested in becoming a part of that, and I think they even said Nintendo can pretty much have any of the characters if they want them. But nice. Just from what I read, the characters that people would like to see most were Tracer and Doomfist.
Yeah,
so.
They would both be fun. I don't have this written out, but I did see the project lead, I guess, recently left.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, he just quit, I think, or resigned. I don't know. I didn't read the full article, but I did see the headline a few different times on Twitter.
Yeah, that's about all I saw. Well, we won't go into much detail on that because we didn't really read that.
It sucks. Much. It doesn't give me a lot of hope that that's going to speed things up for Overwatch 2. If anything, I feel like that would probably slow things down, but who knows? Maybe he was a cog in the machine. Who knows? Or whatever that saying is.
Yeah. We'll see, I guess.
All right, this is the moment of truth. Did you get 25 eliminations with Anna?
I did, by playing a custom game. It was terrible.
Like a game that you created, or a game that someone else created?
It was on the list. It was a stupid
what
game.
What were the rules for the custom game?
It was just a single big round arena with everyone in it.
Okay.
And it was there was a million Widowmaker bots, I guess.
So you weren't even playing with other
no, there were also
other online people?
There were also other characters in there that were
okay.
Yeah, it was try to get as many kills, I guess, that include other people and these Widowmaker bots.
Oh, okay. So even if you killed a bot, it counted as an elimination?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I had I forget, I sent you a screenshot.
I think it was 31.
Yeah, I had 31. I think the most someone had in there was over 100.
Whoa. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I didn't specify what kind of game you had to play or anything like that. So, yeah, I guess technically you did complete the challenge.
I felt like it broke the spirit of the challenge. So, yeah, I don't know. So I feel like we should clarify. The other week you said kills. I think what you meant was eliminations.
I didn't mean eliminations. I forgot that they didn't call it kills.
Well, kills.
I call it kills.
Kills is usually the final. If you got the final shot, that's usually what counts as the kill.
Oh, okay.
And then any damage done that wasn't the final shot is called an assist. And so Overwatch kind of groups that into one thing and just calls it an elimination.
I thought they were also just trying to be more kid friendly,
okay.
too. I mean, I don't know for sure if that's it, but I was just thinking that might have been one reason.
Well, you can play kills. You can play death matches and they'll have kills on there.
Oh, okay. So. But yeah, I did mean eliminations. So you got 31 eliminations in a game. So I guess technically you did reach the challenge, but how do you feel about that?
Yeah,
do you want it to count?
I didn't feel good.
I don't want to be too picky.
I didn't feel good about doing it that way just because, it just didn't feel right. And then I tried it a bunch in the regular game too, and I got close. I got 21.
Oh, yeah.
And I took a screenshot or I took a picture of it, so I can post that on the.
Yeah, I'll post that. But I will say I did feel a little guilty giving you that challenge while I was watching you try to beat the challenge, because I was like, oh, I made it a little too hard. Maybe I think I should have just done 20 kills, because you were trying so hard, and I just felt bad that you weren't able to get it. And I'm sorry I made it so hard, but does that mean you're gonna rap?
It does.
Yay!
Also,
hey, according to John, that's what everyone wants. They want us to hear us rap, so.
Can I say one other thing?
Yeah.
I feel like in order to get it, it was like one of those situations where the stars had to align. Because, Anna, first of all, her shots don't travel through wounded players. So if someone is kind of blocking your shot that doesn't have 100% HP, it's going to hit your ally, which is good, which is normally one of the reasons she's good, because she can hit either the enemy or the ally, and either way, either heal or do damage. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like that was one of the factors. I feel like my only chance was getting one of those 3-game series.
Yeah, the like 3-part. Yeah.
And then having it go to 3 rounds and having all the games be just really very close. That's when I seemed to get the closest on the challenge. But yeah, it just, on a regular like escort mission, there's like no way.
Yeah, I made it a little hard. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I apologize.
But I did write.
But I don't apologize for like your sweet rap. It's pretty cool. I heard you practicing anyway, and it sounded pretty sweet.
So yeah, I did write a rap, and you actually made a beat.
Yeah, I am expanding my skill set. I'm now a professional beat maker. If anyone needs a rap beat, all you Atlanta hip hop artists that are probably listening to this gaming podcast, hit me up. If you like the beat you hear, DJ Nicky is gonna be in the house, like up for hire now.
I feel like on
JK.
I feel on that note, we should also give a shout out to Mark Spurlock, who we've never mentioned, but has literally done all of the music, the intro theme, all the rap beats so far.
I think we did mention him in the very first episode, but yeah,
it's been a while.
We should mention him more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. He's provided all the rap beats previous to this one.
Yeah.
And he does our theme song, and he did our bonus episode theme song, and he's a good guy. But yeah, we decided to try to create our own beat today. And so I basically just kind of took a one that was already created, and I added some stuff and took some stuff away. So I will say it's not totally originally my beat, but I did alter it and like make it. I made it unique. I didn't just straight up steal a beat and like just copy it.
These are not your original samples, is what you're saying. You took some bass samples from the software program and made the beat,
basically, and added some sweet like chorus parts and the chime at the end. I'm really proud of the chime. So when you're listening to the rap, make sure at the end you notice the sweet chimes that I put in.
All right.
But yeah, let's hear the rap.
All right. I'm off to a running start, gonna take apart all these motherfuckers with a bucket of darts. Smart, fuck, restart. This feels like a LARP, another broken heart. Feels like I'm Bart with a slingshot. Ding bot, forgot how the shot is killing people slower than a blood clot. Great Scott, now it's like I'm smoking pot. Got jack squat from the last trot, fuck. You shoot darts like MP3s. We can agree to just be free. It's you, it's me, it's like I'm shooting trees. Sorry, Anna, but thanks can never be.
Whoa. Eric, that was nuts. That was some really fast flows.
I feel like that wind chime definitely added.
Thank you.
Added to everything.
I thought it was like a nice finale to the end, like a good, like, this is over sound.
True. So are you excited to get to hear the next game?
I'm super duper excited. I I'm also a little scared because I gave you such a hard challenge. I feel like you're going to retaliate and give me some ridiculously hard challenge. So.
We'll see. I don't know how hard this challenge will be, but I'll give you a hint on the game.
Okay.
It's a game I recently bought, like almost brand new.
Is it the new Pokemon Snap game?
Yeah. I wanted,
well, that's the only game we bought recently, so
yeah, I wanted to kind of give you a head start on it too, because I wasn't sure like how much content and stuff. But yeah, you've kind of already gotten into this game quite a bit. So
I have really gotten into this game, but I don't know what the challenge is going to be. So that's another reason I think it's going to be hard, because I've probably already like completed a lot of challenges you might have given me.
Okay, honestly, I don't think this will be too bad.
Okay.
So the challenge for this week is to complete the main story for the game. And to do that, there's kind of a checklist of requirements, and I can help fill you in or help you find it if you want.
Okay.
But yeah, so just
what are some of the requirements?
Some of like the expedition points in certain areas have to be above a certain number.
Okay.
You have to, have unlocked all the different areas, the Illumina Pokemon. You have to have a certain expedition score and all
But
those.
you have like a checklist that I
Yeah.
can look at?
Yeah.
Or I could Google it or whatever. But
Yeah,
so I have to finish the storyline.
Yeah, so you have to finish the main story.
The main storyline. Okay.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think I'm going to have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't think you will either.
But who knows? Maybe I'll just feel funky and write a rap anyways. Like,
Yeah.
YOLO.
Maybe I'll try to do the beat for the next one.
Oh, we'll see. No promises. No promises. But anyways, we will see you guys next time.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye. And as always, if you enjoyed what you heard, please subscribe to our podcast and write us a review. Maybe share with your friends. We're always looking for new listeners. And if you want to comment on anything we talked about, we would love to have conversation with you guys, and we want to know what you think. So find us on Instagram. We're _podcasts. And then we also have been streaming some live video gameplay. So if you're interested in that, follow us on Twitch. It's the same name, _podcast. And we'd love to see everyone around. Thank you, and see you next time.